So when I was just a wee lad back in 1997, the very first Lost World dinosaur I remember picking up at Walmart was the ram head Pachy. To this day, it's still one of my favorite figures, and as you can tell over the years, I've managed to accumulate several from different lots that I've purchased off of eBay. And surprisingly, I still have my original right here, just sans capture gear, and as you can see, this guy has definitely seen his fair share of backyard adventures. Not only did he survive me playing with him, but he also survived all three of my younger brothers playing with him after I had grown up and left home. About 8 years ago, my mom gave me a box full of stuff, and this Pachy was in it, so I think it's pretty cool she kept it after all these years. Now, the one I had was the red dome with the white spot, and it wasn't until later on in life that I learned of the variant that has the red dome with the yellow spot and the JP tag on his tail instead of the thigh like the one I had. So with the release of the new Hammond collection Pachy from Mattel, I got to thinking that a little dose of nostalgia in this guy would be really awesome, so I'm going to give him the red and white dome. Now this won't be a full-on repaint because I'm not a huge fan of painting the articulation spots on these figures, and honestly, the figure is so great itself that I think the color of the plastic and the green patterns will work just fine for what I'm wanting to do. But if you are looking to do a full repaint of the Lost World Pachy, I do have a video on my channel showing you how to repaint a Pachy with the Lost World colors, so you can go and check that video out for all the info you'll need for a full-on repaint. But as for this video, this is just going to be a simple paint mod, and it shouldn't take too long to do or be that difficult at all for any of you who may want to give this a shot. As always, all of the paints I'm using will be down below in the description box, but any brand will work. Doesn't necessarily have to be Vallejo or Army Painters. Just have fun and use whatever you have on hand. So the first color to go down will be Vallejo Blood Red. I'm going to pop this in my wet palette to keep it nice and thin so I get smooth, even coverage, and I'll lay down one thin coat and then dry it with my heat gun and then apply a second. This should only take about 2 coats since the Blood Red has really nice coverage. Next color to go down, this is optional, but I wanted to continue that green up behind the neck just below where the bony spikes meet the skin. So I'm going to go in with Angel Green from Army Painters and just block in that section. I'll also carry that green up and around the eyes and then blend it down into the factory paint to sort of marry those two colors together just to get a nice smooth seamless blend. I decided to paint the eyes, even though they are insanely small. This is, of course, optional. The factory eyes were fine, but they just didn't pop enough for me, so I painted them red with a black dot and then added a white light catch just to give them some life. Now we'll tackle the white on the dome. I'm using my airbrush for this because it just makes it a little bit easier, and I'm going to go in with bone white and just slowly build up that fade down into the red. I'll go back in after with the blood red and touch up any spots that may have gotten some overspray on them. You can also do this with a dry brush. If you don't have an airbrush, just go in very light and build up that bone white with multiple layers. Last thing to paint will be the claws on the hands. This is going to be super easy. For that, I'm just going in with a dark gray mixed with dark brown. Easy peasy. But aside from that, this is pretty much all of the paint apps I'm putting on this guy. Like I said, this was going to be a quick and easy hit of nostalgia, and I'm happy with how it turned out. So as always, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and watching. If you give this a shot, remember to tag me over on Instagram at the Jurassic Park Compound because I'd love to see how yours turns out. In the meantime, if you need more Jurassic related content, you know where to find it. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I'll see you around the compound.